So Ritika has already acted upon privacy. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Please go ahead. Please go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Let me share my screen. So let me start the session by introducing you Ria. So please focus on this picture. This somehow represents all of us. So Ria wakes up, unlocks phone, uses UPI for payment, order breakfast, books cab, office attendance, uses email, visits hospital. In this whole scenario, what's happening? The data she's sharing since she woke up. She's unlocking her phone by giving facial data, location, and UPI bank account info. She's ordering breakfast by using Zomato or any other app. So even here also, it is giving away phone number, payment info, booking cab. Same goes with that. Office attendance. Whenever we are entering, we are using biometric. Even this is a personal data. So using email and visiting office. So what we can see here, uh, she is not traveling as much as her data is traveling to one place to other places. So this is what we all are doing. Since we wake up, we use Instagram or any other app. So the moment we are using it, we are sharing our data. Now, what actually personal data is? So whenever we hear personal data, most of us think that it's just a name, but no, it has been categorized under four. So direct identifiers. It will be name, photograph, Aadhaar, contact details, location, geolocation, IP address, and sensitive information, which is our biometric, whether it's a fingerprint or our facial details. Now, why geolocation data is considered as personal data? Because even if somebody tracks our geolocation data, we will be identified. So PII, when we talk about PII, this means that personally identifiable information. So any information by which we can be identified, that will be regarded as personal data. Now, this is interesting. So earlier in childhood, we used to share a secret with a friend and we used to say, "Kisi ko batana mat." But now, if we think how much our phone knows about it, whether contact, calls, messages, social media interactions, every photo, video, location history, it knows more than us. What you are, what you like, where you go, what we do, what we care about. It knows everything. So, and this is why, if this all information which our phone has, if it falls under wrong hands, what will happen? Financial fraud, deepfakes, we all hear every day almost deepfakes news and all, identity theft. So, and this is why there was a need to protect this information, and we got our DPDP Act. So, the Act says
Maximize.
2023.
Can you maximize your screen?
I think it is already maximized.
No, no, you can use slide share, ना? नीचे में,
Okay.
not this, not this, not this, not this. जो बगल में जो आइकॉन है ना, no, 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 no.
This.
हाँ, all
Right
this,
hand
all.
side bottom, right hand side bottom. Yeah. The second one, the second one, the second one. Not this one, not this one. Just what the tab that you have considered, just
Go back, go
right
back.
hand of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think अच्छा 98% के पास में जो है वो ना,
Correct, correct. वो screen type दिख रहा है ना, वो वाला है.
no, no, not here. You have this percentage ना 112.
Yes,
उसके
yes,
बाद
I have.
उस
This,
हाँ,
this.
just
तो
left
just
hand side
just
of that.
after
Okay,
that.
okay.
Left hand side. left hand side of that. One
Left,
icon
left.
is there, na?
Yeah.
No, no, left. Go to left. Go to left. Further left. Further. Here.
No, no, no,
Here.
no, no. Just no, no, before that, before that. Yeah,
Slideshow.
Yeah.
Show.
Yeah.
yeah.
I hope this works. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is better. Yeah, this is better. Yeah. So we were here. So yeah. The Act says Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023. But if we take back to the history, so there was IT Act 2000, which mainly did not include the right to privacy and SGPI rules. They were for the protection of informations. But here in 2017, there was a case of, if you might have heard, Aadhaar case. It was when people were being asked to share their fingerprints and IDs data. So justice, there was a retired judge who challenged this in front of the court and asked the court whether we have right to privacy or not. So for this, there was a bench of 9 judges which was established, and they settled that yes, we have right to privacy as a fundamental right. And what happens whenever a right becomes fundamental, then we have to protect it, and that's when DPDP Act came into existence. So now DPDP rules 2025 has came, and from 13th May 2027, the whole DPDP Act will be in force. As same as I have discussed, why we need it, because rapid digitization, increasing cyber threat, growing digital economy. So we all know about the how data is driving the economy. Now, why it is important for your organization? So, because departments have this doubt that we don't handle personal data. So, why it is applicable to us? No, every department somehow is collecting personal data. Whether it's a investment banking, you are getting directors KYC documents, finance, GST registration details, mutual fund, folio number linked to the investor identity, HR, of course, employees, all details, whether it's a biometric or background verifications, compliance, KYC records, AML transactions, monitoring records. Then comes IT, laptop asset, whenever HR is accepting the employee and the employee is getting new laptop, we exchange the informations. And merchant banking, due diligence declaration signed by directors KMPs. So yes, I think if there is a department, there will be personal data. Now, this is very important for any organization. What we have to do under DPDP, the 7 principles of DPDP. So, first is lawful purpose. Personal data must be processed for a lawful purpose. So, like whenever you're taking data, so it has to be on the basis of, it should be backed by lawful purpose. If you are suppose HR department is taking the data of employee, what it is doing, until unless HR have the data, it cannot go proceed further. So this is a lawful purpose. Now, purpose limitation, which means personal data should be collected only for specified purpose. For example, Zomato is asking the collecting the data for delivery purpose. So that data cannot be used for marketing. This is what we say purpose limitation. Data minimization means, again, I'll give the same example. Zomato, the purpose of Zomato is to deliver food. If it is asking for your name, email ID, address, that's enough to deliver any food. It should not ask for gender we have, or how many members we have in our family. So this is data minimization. Only take what you require. Don't take unnecessary data. Then comes data accuracy. So this mostly happens in banks whenever we change our address. So it is a responsibility of the data fiduciary that the details are accurate. Storage limitation. For example, your purpose has been served, so you may delete the data if you are collecting. If you like, for example, again, HR is collecting the employees' information. Now the information is in the file of HR, but if he resigns, so she may delete that data. So this is what it says: storage limitation. Reasonable security safeguards. which means you're having bunch of data. Now it's your responsibility to apply security in this. How you might encrypt those data. You have rollback access control, which means only if IT has some information, only IT head can access that information, like that. Again, accountability. Each department has accountability for protecting what personal data they have. Now, meet the key players. I call it heroes of DPDP. Data principal, data fiduciary, data processor, consent manager. The DPDP revolves around these four heroes. Okay. So data principal means all of us for whose data has been collected. The individual whom the data belongs. We are the data owners. Data fiduciary. Now, Sumeda will be considered as data fiduciary because you are determining the purpose of why you are collecting the data. Data processor. For example, we are collecting the data, we are collecting the files, but we are using Google Drive for keeping those. So Google is not deciding any purpose why they are collecting the data, but it is storing the data. So this that is what called data processor and consent manager.
So
There is a single
Ritika,
point. Yes, yes,
so Ritika, we can
yes.
give a very illustrative example that when we visit uh, shopping malls, big
Mhm.
shopping malls, there are people hanging around, coming to you and asking for your address, your phone number, your name, so that you can get some gift. Have you ever
Yes.
faced this kind of situation that we are coming from this company and we require your personal data so that we can give you, we'll invite you for a meeting and we'll give you some gift.
Yes, yes.
So actually, they actually collect those data and use it for telecalling purpose. But the purpose is not already told to you. So now, if they take after the implementation of this act, after May 27, if they take in your data and use it for some other reason other than the one you have consented for, then you can actually sue them. You got my point? So taking data at random cannot be done. You have to take it for a lawful purpose. Okay, Ritika,
Yeah.
you can continue.
Yes, that was a very good example, sir. Thank you so much. And consent manager, who will be act as a single point of contact between us and data fiduciary, because we as a data principal using multiple apps, 100 apps, and we cannot keep track of which company I'm giving consent to. So this is what a consent manager will do. It will be an app and it will be registered with the government of India, and it will keep the track like what consent we are giving, and if we want to delete our data. So this consent manager will go to data fiduciary. It will notify data fiduciary that this person wants to withdraw the consent. So this will be the role of consent manager. Now, personal data is not limited to just collection, and also I'll give you one example. So, yeah, processing. You might have heard this word several times. Processing. What does processing means? So, anything you are doing with the data will be known as processing. If you come here, collection, storage, use, sharing, retention, erasure. This like you are even storing the data, that will be called as processing, and DPDP will be attracted. So as I'm recording this video, so even this is I'm processing your data. Organization, structuring, storage, disclosure, use, viewing the data, this will be known as processing. So this is a very important word which DPDP gives focus on, processing. Where does DPDP apply? DPDP applies to personal data processing carried out by data fiduciaries in India. Any individual or entity not being state that determines the purpose and means of processing the personal data. So data processors in India, an individual and any other person. Basically, if you are an Indian, DPDP will be applicable. If there is a like American company storing our personal data of Indian citizens, then even they have to comply with DPDP. Now, where does DPDP does not apply? Suppose if I am making a WhatsApp group and sharing my I'm making a group it is Ritika's birthday, so how many people has to come? So I'm sharing the contact details. Okay, this person, this person. So what I'm doing here, I'm sharing the data for domestic use. So DPDP won't be applicable here. Another publicly available data, which means I am vlogging and telling the people that, hey, I have visited Goa. So even this is my personal data, but it is publicly available data. So here also DPDP won't apply. And statutory exemption, which means if there is a suppose ChatGPT, let me give you an example of ChatGPT. Now we think that everything what we share in ChatGPT is safe. Yes, it is safe, but if there is a judicial requirement from the court of USA, then they have to produce the chats. So even in India, if the Supreme Court of India asks for any person's chat or any personal data, so they have to give. That is a statutory exemption. Understanding the lawful purpose. So what could be the lawful purpose of collecting the data? So I have already given example of HR processing the data of employee to give the service. Another key lawful basis is consent. If you can go back and see, we are using Instagram. Instagram has lots of our data. On what basis? Because we have given consent to. They do not have any other lawful basis. They are. It's not by the order of law. It's by not anything. It just have consent. That's why it is using our data. Now, how should we? How the power of consent? Like it should be freely given, specific, informed, unambiguous, and empowering data principles. Now, even it is one of the need of the organization to make a privacy policy which shall be understood by all. If I am visiting the private, it should not be in legal language. It should not be ambiguous. So this is what it wants to say. Now, if I give example, why it is saying free. Suppose that I am visiting a website and it says that you cannot create your account if you don't give consent. So I have to create the account, so I have to give my consent. So it is not free, it is not voluntary. So this is a bad practice. And unambiguous, clear affirmative actions. When consent not required, employment purpose, there is a medical emergency, the person do not require any consent, they have to do the surgery, disaster response, court orders, government functions, other statutory uses. I think I have covered this. Now okay. So what rights DPDP gives us? Right to access information, which means now we do not have it, but we can ask Instagram, we can ask Snapchat, we can ask WhatsApp what information you have about us. And how do you so perfectly knows which reel I would like if anybody scrolls, so they must have noted if they are liking on one reel, same kind of reels will appear in their feed. So how they are how they are knowing so much about us? Just because they are performing behavioral monitoring, they are tracking our behavior, on what page we are liking, like on what photo, how much time we have spent. So this is why they are taking. So we will be having right to access information, right to correction in banks. If we need to change our address, so I can just reach out to HDFC Bank and tell them they have to do it. Right to eraser. Suppose there is an app I'm not using so I can just ask them that, okay, erase all of my data so that I don't get marketing emails from it. Right to grievance redressal. So if all of my rights are not being executed or not being responded, then I'll have a right where I will go to DPB to redress my grievance. And right to nominate. So like in insurance companies this happens. So if I'm not there, unfortunately, if something happens to me, so I would be able to nominate any of my family, that yeah, you can access the information. So this is, even DPDP was very thoughtful to consider this as well. Your duties are that of as
So,
well.
say another example, I would like to cite another example.
Mm-hmm.
Say, for example, you have come across, you want to purchase a property, okay, a flat, and you approach a broker, and the broker asks your email address, and all your details. Okay, so you have to give because you want the service from him. So initially you give, and he provides you all the required information of various properties, and he takes you to the properties and also displays them to you. So after searching through few properties, you actually identify one which you will be purchasing. So finally you purchase that property and do all the paperwork, and you become the owner of that property, say a flat. So your objective is fulfilled. So after that you can say, definitely you stop processing my personal information or delete my information. So he has to delete it from his directory. So that is actually the retention and destruction of data, and for the legal purpose that is required, that's why they have used the data. Is the example clear? Hello, you have to be very interactive. Otherwise, this is a very crucial subject, and you may be left out somewhere,
No,
and
no.
you can.
Yeah, Rathi here. So,
Yes,
if I forget buying, even if I make an inquiry for a flat, I will
yes.
continue to get unsolicited call for next 10 years. So,
No,
are you saying
once
that
once
once
see, you have approached that broker, so
broker
it's a
or
free will.
maybe a developer?
Okay, so
So,
whatever you have approached,
developer appoints marketing agent.
yeah,
Marketing agent keeps our data, the phone number,
correct,
essentially name and
correct,
phone number, and they
correct.
keep harassing you. Like
Now, harassing because if you are interested in the property, then he will be calling you. If you say that no, drop it, I have not shared it with you, I
not
have shared
only
it with
that,
some other developer, okay,
no,
then
no,
he has
not
to stop.
only that, no, not only that developer. I get call from hundreds of other developers.
Yes,
They
yes, yes, that
say
I
that
understand.
marketing agents, marketing agent markets not only that property, they market 100 other property. All of them do call me. So my question is that after this act is enacted, will I be able to stop getting those calls? Not
Yes,
only
yes,
property
definitely.
matters, even
See,
insurance and bank
yes,
account,
yes, I'll
credit
tell you one
cards, so
example.
many, yeah,
Sir,
so
I'll
many
give you a very live
unsolicited
example.
calls come.
I'll give you a very live example. See, have you ever strolled down Dalhousie, HDFC Bank, then HS Mumtazuddin, that area where there is Dalhousie metro rail station? Have you strolled down that area? Have you walked down that path near Dalhousie?
No, no,
If
no.
you have walked, okay, if you ever have time to walk through that place, okay, you will find posters hanging on the walls that 1 GB data 500 rupees, 5 GB data 1500 rupees. Like that, data is being sold. So till now, as there was no restriction, they used to collect data from various sources. Also from that, I told you they collect data at malls where they say give you they say that we'll give you gift. You say give your number, and also they collect data from back channel of banks and other institutions. So they collect all those data and they sell it in open market. And that's why those posters are lying over there. So once this act comes into play, definitely you will have relief. Once you identify them and you sue them, you'll definitely get all kinds of redemptions.
Also, to add on this, you what you will require, you can just go to consent manager and withdraw your consent. So your example was, if you are visiting a website and they'll start calling you, they'll start harassing you, sir ye property le lijiye, wo property le lijiye. So wahan pe you had if this had been happened, so you must have given consent, so you just need to withdraw the consent. Also, you will execute this right to eraser. If you ask the company that please delete all of my data, so they won't be having your email id and contact number. So by this right you will be having no harassment further.
So Rathi sir, you have patience till May 27, and most probably there will be some effect, means some lowering of such harassment call to you. It's
Yes, yes,
expected.
definitely.
I
Yes,
don't
yes.
know what will happen in future, but it is expected, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And thank
So
you for your question. This kind of interactive questions answer session is better and makes the topic more interesting.
even I appreciate that. So we have discussed a lot about data fiduciary, that data fiduciary cannot do this, that, and all. What about data principal? We should also have some responsibility. So our responsibility or duty is we should always give accurate information, no impersonation, which means that I cannot use my friend's phone and go to a website and give my consent, process my data. I should not do that. And no false complaints. Obviously, nobody likes false complaints, so I should not be saying this. The company is not executing my right if I had not given the execution. So and also there is a penalty, 10,000 rupees. Even 10,000 rupees is very much for as an individual we have. So if we do, if we break any of these rules, so we will be having to pay 10,000 rupees. Now, responsibilities of data fiduciary. We should be now that when I say data fiduciary, which means Sumedha Fiscal Service Limited, we have to give proper notice telling all of the data principle about the data collection, what data we have, why are we storing, till how we will be keeping your data. Consent management will have to, if we are collecting consent, then this is an additional step. We'll have to keep the audit logs. When are we taking consent? At what time? And if the user wants to withdraw it, so we'll have to keep the log about consent. Security
1 minute,
safeguard,
ma'am.
as I yes, yes,
Excuse me.
yes.
Actually, do you have the format of the consent or notices, such notices?
Yes, yes, yeah, we have. We will be sharing
So,
with we are doing that
definitely,
yeah.
definitely. Please share the formats also.
Yeah, we will be making that
Ashish
for you.
sir, will see the consent format is
Yes,
different for different organization. Okay, so
right.
definitely we'll give you consultancy on how to frame your consent format. Not only consent, but also notice. You have to frame your notice. So there are various legal documents. That's why we have employed a legal personnel to actually help you in this consultancy. You too have various legal advocates and legal personnel in your organization. So together you can actually
We will be
build
achieving
these
DPDP
frameworks.
compliance.
Okay.
Yes, together.
Acha. In the case, basically, got your point. In the case, the data, if the data is collected for the legal purpose, we have to maintain the formalities, consent, notices, etc.
whatever data you collect, there you have to provide why you are collecting the data.
Say the company shareholder are giving us the data, PAN numbers, bank details, as per the SEBI regulations, so that other consents are required to be taken from that. Then
This for I have been saying, sir. Here the lawful basis won't be consent. Here the lawful basis will be legitimate interest. Without PAN number, you cannot give them service. So you
yes,
have, yeah, it will be a legitimate interest. We cannot. You are not required to keep the consent.
okay, right.
And security safeguards. So IT team must have been aware of this a lot. So basically encrypting all the data, even if we are suppose Ram Sharma is a employee name, so what we can do, we can keep it as RAX, or we can encrypt Sharma like that. So this is what security safeguards. Here it includes like role based access control or encryption, pseudonymization, anonymization. These are the key things in security. Basically, we are giving security to the informations what we have. Retention, retaining the personal data only for as long as we require it. So, and deletion. If any user asks for right to eraser, you have to securely delete it, and being accountable here. Further understanding significant data fiduciary. So there are categories: data fiduciary and significant data fiduciary. And the organization which is taking bulk number of data, only that would be categorized as significant data fiduciary. And I am not a person, any nobody can consider an organization as SDF. It is the role of government. After 13th May, government will qualify some organizations as significant data fiduciaries, mostly like LIC and big hospitals, WhatsApp, Instagram, like that. They have got enhanced responsibility. They'll have to appoint a DPO. They'll have to conduct DPIA every 6 months, every 1 year, like that. Also, independent data auditor. So they have got additional steps. We, being data fiduciary, has less steps than SDF. It is not definitely not going to apply to Sumedha. We don't collect any personal data of the children, so we won't be requiring that. But yeah, if any organization is collecting children personal data, they'll have to show that the consent was not given by the children but a parent. That's why it has written verifiable parental consent. So suppose like Snapchat, if
Suppose there is mutual fund in the name of a children. There can be no. Is it possible, Ashish sir?
Yes. Devolina is there, the mutual fund head.
So there can be mutual fund in the name of children where there is a guardian. So guardian has to give the consent.
Yes.
Acha, the mutual fund, the KYC is required as per the yes, requirement, so that consent is requirement of the consent is how much is justified.
Even in this case, sir, consent is not the lawful basis. Here you can show that it's a legitimate interest. We are providing the service, so we won't require any like consent. It will be backed by legitimate interest.
Yeah, they are actually investing. They have their own interest in investing, and that's why.
You just have to show the data protection board the lawful basis. Why are you collecting the data? Do you have legitimate interest? Do you have consent? Or by the order of law, you are collecting the data? So this is how it's get done. I hope I'm clear, sir.
Yes.
As I have been saying, security safeguards. So there are technical measures, organizational measure, and privacy by design. implementing encryption, access control, pseudonymization, data anonymization. These are all technical measures. And organize in how an organization can show that yeah we have implemented security safeguards by showing training records. Whenever an employee joins you, you give them a DPDP training. You can keep the record and show data protection board. Yeah, you have put your security safeguards. Like we are doing the awareness session, so we will be keeping this screenshot of the participants, and we will be showing that yes, there was an awareness session. So these are the steps you are taking to keep your employee updated about DPDP. Privacy by
This
design.
is, see, these technical measures are mostly related to IT, okay, like encryption, pseudonymizing, okay. Then there is access control.
Yes.
So these all kinds of things are related to technicalities, ITs. So so IT has to be very active in these areas.
And each department, all department collecting the data.
For all department, basically.
Yes. And privacy by
Actually, you
design.
will have a centralized reservoir of data. Actually, you
Right.
should design a centralized reservoir of data. So that the controls are put at one place. If you
Yes.
have data scattered all over the place, it is very difficult to control them. So better have a centralized reservoir of data, and there you implement all the controls. Whenever data is required to be accessed by someone, he or she has to take a proper approval for that access. Once he or she has the right to access, then only he can access that central reservoir of data. And again, this data has to be backed up, okay, in some other secondary location, so that there is no loss of data. And
Yes.
during destruction of data, you have to also clean the data in your backup. Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Basically, we have the file server
Right,
uh,
right.
to store the data. The some of the departments, very little departments are yet to be connected to the file
But
server,
I
but the
find,
maximum.
but I find even if you have file server and centralized reservoir, people
Correct.
still store data in local
Yeah.
disk space. Correct?
For that purpose, awareness is required. Definitely.
This practice has to stop, because
That's
any
definitely
kind of leakage from any place would
correct.
hold the company in legal terms.
Correct.
So better, nobody should be storing local data. It should be stored in the centralized reservoir and accessed from there. All kinds of control should be applied at that place so that you remain safe. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And to talk about privacy by design, it generally happens whenever we are launching a new product, mostly applicable to the companies which develops any software. What they have to keep in mind that privacy should not be an afterthought. It should be from the day software is being developed. They should keep in mind that they have to protect the privacy by taking only minimum data. As I have already discussed, you take only what you require. Don't take unnecessary information. Now, yeah, we have been talking about this a lot, data protection board. So, like High Court, we have Supreme Court, we have, and for all the technical and the AI or everything, it will be going to data protection board. This is the Supreme Court for the personal data. Any grievance, any enforcement, any composition. It's all about data protection board. So there will be there will be a chairperson who will be taking all the matters, and mostly it will be digital office. So if there is a breach, you have to reach out to data protection board. Now, what personal data breach means? So this is the body of all the penalties we talk about. So any incident, if there is any compromisation of data, it will be regarded as personal data breach. Now, I'll give a very simple example. So, suppose I send email to wrong recipient. Even this will be a breach. I hope everybody understand this. If I am sending a mail to wrong recipient, it will be considered as breach. So, even this tiny mistake can cost us 200 crore, 250 crore. And further, hacking, phishing attacks are there. So, yeah. Is everybody clear with this? What personal data breach is? Hello?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. We can move forward, right? Because why I give so much focus on this, because this is the universe of the DPDP Act. There is a breach, there is a penalty. What we have to do when there is a breach, we have to identify the breach, and the first step is to notify the Data Protection Board without any delay. Here you can see in the third step. Now, not just data DPBI, the board, you also have to notify the data principals, which means us, whose data has been breached without any delay. And we have to give we have to do this within 72 hours. We have to submit the detailed report. What was the root cause of the breach? Why this breach happened? Why? How many people are being affected? This all report you have to give. And DPDP says even if you fail to, okay, there was a breach, you did not notify the DPB, even that has a penalty of 200 crores. So it's very important to understand what is breach and what to do when there is a breach. Actually, we all have to memorize this, that if there is a breach, we have to notify the DPBI, we have to give information to the data principal within this 72 hours. Yeah.
So, Ashish, Ashishji, so you are already you already know that if there is an incident, if there is a cyber incident, according to CSCRF, you have to inform the authorities. You have to inform certain within 6 hours. Okay, and also the SEBI. So there are various levels of escalation. So similarly, data breach is also an incident. So your incident register should also contain if there is any breach of data. So that will be taken up as a incident. Okay, not only your cyber incident, but also your data breach incidents should also be recorded. Now, if you want to record it in a incident register, it will be very easy for you to find out. If you want, you can also create a separate data breach incident register and a cyber security incident register. So you can have separate, or you can merge it together. I think merging it together will be easier for you to identify. That you can find out as you go along the implementation. Okay.
So when I say up to 250 crore, which means if Sumeda is able, if there is a breach in Sumeda and Sumeda is able, that they have taken all the steps to them to comply with DPDP, they can
To
demonstrate the
secure,
compliance to, yeah, to the Data
to
Protection Board.
secure all your data.
So the penalty will be less. That's why it has written up to 250 crore. It's not that exact 250 crore. So yeah, the it will be determined when you are able to demonstrate compliance. So, and since when this is going to happen? Okay, have any does anybody know there was a breach in EY recently? I guess anybody know that there was a breach in EY company, consulting company, recently in last week?
No, not aware of.
Okay,
No.
okay. So had it been happened after this 13th May 2027, they had to pay big bunch of money. But yeah, they have got saved because it says 18 months after the date of publication, and the notification was published in 13th November, which brings us to 13th May 2027. So they have got saved. Now, this is also, I guess, do we share any data to like other countries? Does Sumedha shares any other like personal data to other countries?
Yes, at times, not very frequently, but yes, we do have clients which are overseas. We share information over mail. They share information over mail only.
Okay, in this case, yeah, even this has to be followed. So we can only share the data which the government has not blocked. If India has blocked, or maybe Pakistan, so we cannot share those personal data to that country. Now,
Also during data transfer, you have to implement various controls. Data at in motion, you have to implement encryption out there also. So there are various protocols which will be encrypting data during motion. Even if you are sending data within your country, okay, within your local, within India, any kind of data in motion you have to encrypt. Okay, ARC, Ashish Roy Chaudhary, uh, Mr. Ashish Roy Chaudhary is not there. Okay, so this is also a part of IT department, and IT department will actually implement control to actually encrypt those. Okay, suitable software and application has to be implemented.
yes. Yeah. So common privacy mistake, we all do. Wrong recipient, already given the example. How if there is a mass communication, so what we can do as a best privacy practice will be using BCC so that all the emails are not disclosed, and weak password, where it was like last week when I searched what was the most used password, that appeared 12345. We all have done it, so this is we should not do it. We always have should have strongest passwords. Unauthorized sharing sensitive internal customer data with colleagues, even that is a not good privacy practice. And we should never lose company issued personal devices, because that contains a lot of the universe of the company. So yes. Now, yeah, so we all are using ChatGPT AI for all of the purposes. So the DPDP doesn't say you don't use; it just says have a policy and get it signed by all the employees that you do not disclose any sensitive information in ChatGPT. So company knows better which are their confidential information. So yeah, every organization should have one policy where they will be showing there will be responsible AI usage clauses, and all the employees should sign it and know that yeah, they are not allowed to do so.
বলুন হ্যাঁ
Now, yes sir. Okay, so yeah, building a privacy first culture, it is not just IT or legal department's duty to comply with DPDP, but everyone's responsibility. Whatever department they have, it is a responsibility of every department, especially the department head, because they will be accountable if there is any kind of unfortunate breach. Now, reporting concerns, like if there is a breach, then we have to report it. Now, ethical data handling, we should use the data ethically. Now, yeah, so this is again a very important part of the slide. So how are we going to do it for Sumedha? We are already in this session. Next, we will be sitting with all departments and we will identify all the personal data they collect. So I really require your support. Without your support, won't be able to discover the data. And then we will do data mapping. We will then do gap assessment. We will draft all the policies. We will also guide you about the how to manage consent, then implementation, and audit continuous compliance. So there are privacy myth and reality. I really want everybody to see this slide carefully. So yeah, so myth one: only customer data is protected under the DPDP Act. Is it a myth or reality? Already, the answer is already there, so it's not I shouldn't ask this. Yeah, employee, vendor, job applicant,
So
and
you
customer
have to
data.
actually say,
But
you
the
have to
answer is
actually
already
say,
there.
okay, you have to be interactive in this slide.
I've got one more slide where you'll have to answer. There are no answer there, so you'll have to answer that queries. So yeah, so no, it's under DPDP. Not only customers' data are protected, employee, vendor, job applicant, customer data, everything is protected. Myth two: if the data is available on internet, I can use it for any purpose. Not necessarily. Publicly availability does not automatically mean you can freely collect, process, or use the data. Then deleting a file from my computer means the personal data is completely gone. The IT team must have know about this, that there are lots of backups there. So even that was a myth. The more personal data we collect, the better it is for business. Totally a myth, because the more you have data, the more onus to comply with DPDP, the more risk you will be collecting for your organization. So yeah, the DPDP Act promotes data minimization, not collect bulk of data. Myth 5: privacy compliance is only required when there is a breach. No, privacy compliance starts before collecting personal data and continues throughout its entire life cycle. Entire life cycle, as I have already mentioned in previous, storing, using, sharing, all of will be under the life cycle. Now, yeah, this is a this is a slide where you all have to answer. So, what is personal data? Your name, or your mobile number, your email, or all of the above.
B and C.
B and
B and C.
okay, yeah, no, it will all of the it will the answer is all of the above, because as I have already mentioned that even your location will be considered as personal data, because um, from that geolocation you can be identified. So all of the above will be the answer. And can you withdraw your consent after giving it?
Yes.
Yes, yes, we can do. We can withdraw thanks to DPDP. And who is responsible for protecting personal data in our organization? Only IT team, only HR team, only legal team, or every employee?
Every employee.
Every employee.
Yes, 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 yes. We have understood the core concept of DPDP now, I think. Yeah. So you accidentally send an employee salary details to the wrong person. What should you do first? Ignore it, delete the email, or report it immediately, or wait and see if nobody notices?
See,
Report it
report it
immediately.
immediately.
Yes, yes, yes. We got it. Now, privacy is about protecting data, people, trust, all of the above.
Data.
I think it should have two answers. One is data and one is all of the above. Because by protecting the data, we are also protecting the people and also trust of people. Because when we say data fiduciary, the term fiduciary itself means that we trust you. So I consider as the answer is A only, but I would say it is all of the above. We are protecting all. And so I guess everybody has now be aware about why privacy matters, and we have learned core DPDP concepts, heroes of DPDP. We have also gone through employee responsibilities and organizational commitment. So I guess I have given you something. We as a Prime Info Server has given you something important. I hope so. And yeah, the story continues with privacy is not just about protecting data, it is about protecting people, trust, and the future of our digital society. And that brings us to close of the presentation. So please, I'd really appreciate if you ask me to repeat any topic, or if you ask me any questions. We and our team are there to solve any queries.
Requesting to share the video, basically video recording, to all us only, so that better awareness or better understanding thereof.
Yeah, sure. Definitely, we will. Also, if all of
Yeah,
us
we will
can
share
turn
it to
our
you and you
cameras.
share it internally to whoever
Okay, no,
whoever is required. Okay.
no problem, no problem, sir.
Also, can I request everybody to turn their camera on so I can take a screenshot that these are the person attended this. Thank you so much. Shubha. Abhijit sir, you also turn your camera on. Himanshu. Rituja, you do it. It just we will keep this record. That's why I am saying it as.
So I have a question for my team members. That is for Ritupriya and Dhavni. How much of these requirements are practically applicable to Sumedha? Because we are not in any lending, we are not selling any product. We don't collect any personal data except HR department. So how much of this inform we take all bankers phone number, address. That is our requirement of our business, and we do share with our client also. Many times we share with our client also. So is it also a violation?
I'm audible. In my case, if I talk about compliance, being a listed company, sir, all the data, whatever I have, I take it from the RTA, and the shareholders have already given them, uh, through all those lawful channels only. And we do not possess any special data which we seek from any person. Everything is there at the RTA, which the shareholders themselves have given, nothing beyond that. So this is like, for me, it's an awareness that in future, if I'm taking some special data, then I might practice it. But currently, as such, I don't have any personal interaction with anyone. With the compliance department and our intermediary, the RTA, the registrar transfer agent, CDSL, NSDL, they provide us the data, and on which we work.
Practically speaking, these guidelines will not be hitting us, correct?
So not in my case, essentially, because I'm not talking to anybody. I'm, I'm like a back office person. So I'm not fetching any data from anyone. I'm not interacting with anyone. I'm taking the data which is available already, with the intermediaries.
So Devalina, you have to be careful if you are sharing your clients' information with any mutual fund
Yes, sir.
who's marketing their scheme. So you have to consult maybe Dhavni whether you can do it, and if you do it, what are the kind of precautions you have to take?
Yes, sir.
Because you send newsletter, uh, send marketing information. So whether that is allowed or not allowed.
Yes,
My
sir.
worry
Definitely will do.
is that
No,
we have n number of records of our bank managers. So whether sharing those details with our clients or associate is also a violation.
so then that means that, the insight that I'm circulating every Monday to all the email IDs that we have from the clients, whoever give us the visiting card, then is that a violation as well?
So if you are doing it in BCC uh, way, that email addresses of the recipient is not known to others, then it's not a violation. But
Okay.
if you are marking it CC, then it's a violation.
No, no, no. I don't. It doesn't come like that. Nobody knows each other's email ID.
Then there's no violation. Then there is no violation.
Ashishji, can you please confirm that the emails that you are sending through that, you're it's not, I mean, nobody can see the email ID of the
No,
other
no,
person,
no, no,
right?
no, 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 no. Correct, correct, correct. Yeah.
All
It
right.
is it is not disclosed basically.
My worry is about sharing bankers' name, addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, which we in our day-to-day business we have to say. I don't know whether that can be qualified as a violation.
Sir, it cannot be because the data are available in the marketplace. You can buy it. So I don't find those are violations because we are giving some personal data to someone. This cannot be a data breach or something like that. I don't think so.
No,
Our
data
Because the,
buying, see, data buying was is a process of past. Okay,
that
henceforth
is
you
going to
cannot buy
stop.
data.
No, that
That
is
is going to
definitely
stop.
going. That is definitely going to stop. My second point is, Ajay, that as a we are SEBI-registered merchant banker, so we share information of investment managers, CIO, with our client and fellow merchant banker. So can that be a violation?
I think the data, like for example, when we are doing any transaction, a lot of data, a lot of information we are taking from the issuer company. I think those data cannot be shared with anyone other than the intermediaries who are involved in it. But definitely, if we are sending those information to the people or to the system which we are not required to get, I think that is breach of information sharing.
So, sir,
So,
once we do a gap assessment and take a understanding of all the data, after we do the data discovery, okay, data classification and all these process. So, after gap assessment, we can actually try to understand what is affecting, what is being affected, and what is the impact. So, all this will be noted down in the data impact assessment.
One more
DPIA,
so
thing which
Data
in
I
Privacy
spirit,
Impact Assessment.
so clearly in spirit, we are not violating, nor we are going to violate in future. That is very, very sure. In
one more
spirit.
thing which I yeah
But
one more
if
thing which
you,
I yeah
yeah, but
sorry sir.
if someone tries to find out in form that unintentionally something is shared, that also is someone tries to play foul, create a issue out of that, whether that precaution we should take or it's stretching the imagination. I'm not sure what to do.
One more thing which I want to understand, is there any case studies? What type of breaches happened previously? What so if those practical already which happened, I think those will be eye opener for everyone to understand these are the breaches basically. So can
No,
we
no,
get those
breaches are
type of
currently not available. No, see,
okay?
once the act kicks in from May, then only you can actually assign breaches,
No,
understand breaches.
so
No,
I think no, I think madam is telling about EY matter. What exactly was that breach that I want to understand? It definitely was, but it is in a public
Their
domain. Now there is a
yeah, yeah, their system was hacked and some of the data was compromised by the you can see there was a the system was hacked basically. So the server which had the data, it was compromised.
but
Why
again,
nothing happened?
my if my
Yeah,
if my system is getting hacked, it is not my in control, na? Because if someone who's hacking is more smarter than what I am protecting, so how
definitely.
do I?
no, that there comes into play the IT controls. No,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
first you have to understand whether it is an internal threat or an external threat. Somebody from your internal organization has hacked and leaked, or whether it is done externally. That you have to ascertain first. then you have to ascertain whether your systems are vulnerable or not, whether you have done VAPT, whether you have a proactive SOC system where you can actually ascertain what type of transmission is happening within your organization, what information is going out, and what is coming in. So you have to block it within the edge, means the gateway. So those are the controls that you have to implement it. And I think Sumedha has already got some of the controls due to CSCRF.
No, Mr. Datta, my worry is different. My worry is that, say, my mutual fund distribution team, they have got a database of, say, 2,000 clients. And suppose a new mutual fund scheme is launched and the mutual fund distributor wants our data. If I share that data, whether it's a breach, whether it's a violation, it's
Did you take consent of sharing the data? That also has to be taken.
so we will need guidance on what kind of consent we need.
If you are sharing data, that also the principal should know whom you are sharing and for what reason.
You'll have
The,
to notify your data principals and you'll have to take consent from them before sharing.
ठीक है देवेलेना একটু এটা মনে রাখতে
Yes,
হবে
sir.
তোমাকে
Yes, sir.
হ্যাঁ
Definitely. Yes, sir.
হ্যাঁ unintentionally কোনো violation না হয়
Excuse
sir.
me, once instance. Excuse me. Once. Please pardon me. Obviously, sir, and Rituja ma'am.
yes, sir.
One case. Sometime we have to do basically. One PAN card is required for a telephone connection in the name of the company. Huh. I received the a PAN card from our mutual fund department or our compliance department for applying those telephone line. Is it violation?
No, no, there I would say, Ashish, let me come in. Whenever we are giving any KYC of the directors or whoever,
Okay.
that
Okay.
person is self-attesting that KYC document, and the
Okay.
purpose is always mentioned by this person. Ki
Okay.
this KY, this is for the submission of opening a bank account. This is
Statutory
for the
legal
submission,
purpose.
yeah.
Okay.
So we let me update you, Abhijit ji and the team. This is the practice that the compliance department, at least, which I can assure, has been following ever since. That whatever KYC document is being used of the directors for opening any, even a bank account, a dividend account, I'm we get the same self-attested by the director, the PAN, Aadhaar, whatever, and on that particular, after the signature below, we put in, in hand that this is for the purpose of opening a dividend account with the HDFC Bank.
Correct.
This is for the purpose of doing this. So the person who is signing
Along
it,
with the
my
date.
along with the date, my director, they are aware that why I'm taking their KYC. Never during my tenure we have given any KYC of any director or personal without mentioning the reason on that KYC document. We have never done
A
that.
very good practice. A
Correct.
Then
very
Yeah,
you
this
good
don't
is
have
like
to
practice, and
worry.
we
yeah,
appreciate
because
Yeah.
this
because
kind
we
of
have to be
practice.
very careful. When it comes to my directors, I have their
Yeah,
KYC with me.
definitely.
I have their DSCs with me. In fact, we maintain a DSC register with Ashish ji. Even for 5 minutes, if a DSC is being taken from my end or from Ashish ji end, even for 5 minutes, we are putting the name of the person in the register along with the time of taking it and giving it back to us.
Correct, ma'am. Correct.
We are that very
We are
particular
aware
about
of
the
them.
This
KYC
is
documents.
a very good practice, and
Yeah,
I
because
definitely
yeah,
will share it with other big organizations
yeah,
also. They
this
should
is very
also implement,
important.
because
Any
big organizations tend to share certain things without even noticing of others.
no,
Okay,
not
so
here,
this
not at
kind of
Sumedha.
practice,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I said. We'll be sharing this kind of practices with others also. So
no,
we will
absolutely.
create another slide in this slideshow, and we'll put up each one's experience out here, good
Yeah, you
practices,
can. Yeah,
so that people become
yes,
aware.
of course, of course. The purpose has to be mentioned in every KYC document self-attested by anyone.
So by this, I have also taken consent of creating this kind of example in our slideshow and educating others.
Yeah, this is not my idea. This is a general principle. I have got no
Yeah,
copyright.
thank you.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
Ritika.
Okay, yeah,
Ritika,
I
anything you
think
have
now
more?
just yeah, I think Sumera is ahead of time and it is already having safety secure
So,
guards.
Mr. Ashish Mukherjee,
Yes, sir.
Dhwani ma'am, and others, how did you like the session? Did you find it informative? Did you find it engaging? Did you find it interesting? Or did you find it not at all useful?
So I'll just say one line. Please, awareness is done. Please let us know the formats. My mutual fund department or any other department, what kind of format should be there for taking the consent and all. That has to be quickly put in the system now.
Madam,
And
we
also,
are there to do the consultancy and
Yes.
implementation. Give us time. This is
Yes,
only
sir.
day one,
Yeah, yeah, no problem.
day two rather. Day two, one day we gone over there, and today is the second day. So this is day
Okay.
two.
Okay.
I just have one request that when I'll sit with the departments, I just want your full cooperation. That this will help me to identify actually what data you have, personal identifiable information. Until and unless I know it, I won't be able to secure it. So yeah, I would require your cooperation.
Yes, yes, definitely,
So don't worry
definitely.
about it. Don't
Yeah,
worry about it.
thank you
We
so
are
much. This is only
in
my
a
request.
journey.
I am
Yeah.
already
We are in a journey, okay?
I am already filled
And
up
we have to go
some of
side
the
by side.
points over there, I think.
Yeah. This is also thank you so much, Ashish ji, for reminding me. I have already shared information requirement list. I would request all of you to go through that at least and let me know wherever you are finding a problem. Please fill that form, and whenever you are unable to, you have some queries, I'll be there to guide you. So
Please
that
forward
list has to be fulfilled.
department wise,
Yes, department wise.
file. Please forward department wise file. Uh, the that would be
Yeah,
easier to all of them.
I have made OneDrive link. I have shared in the mail. If you can check,
Only
then
one
there
file
will
is
be.
there.
Yeah, I'll be
हेलो
uploading all the files, and the
हाँ जी,
department heads can
मेरी
fill that
मीटिंग
form.
हुई आज, मेरी मीटिंग हुई आज, हाँ,
Okay.
तो
I think now we can
सीजीएम
close
से,
it.
सीजीएम
Excuse
से,
me.
हाँ,
Okay.
Saki
Thank you so
तो
much. I
सीजीएम
really
को मैंने
appreciate it
वापिस से सारा मैटर
for
समझाया, को एक वन
you guys
पेजर नोट बना के
participated.
दे दिया, हाँ, उनको बता दिया कि भाई सिक्योरिटी आपके पास
Can we
कुछ
close
है
it?
नहीं,
No,
फर्स्ट चार्ज होल्डर्स की पूरी नहीं
satisfied,
हो
sir.
रही है,
Rani
और
ji is
उन्होंने वो नोट पढ़ लिया मेरे सामने ही, और बोले कि मैंने बताया कि 27 करोड़ का
Sir,
एक
Rajesh sir,
एआरसी
you are
का
on.
ऑफर
You
था,
are, sir.
तो
Please mute
मैंने
yourself, sir.
okay.
तो
Rajesh sir,
Okay,
बोले
please
कि
mute.
मैं
okay.
देख
Please
समझ
close the
लेता हूँ
meeting.
एंड
It's not
उसका
Please
easy.
कोई
close the
रास्ता
meeting.
Sure,
निकालता हूँ,
sure, sure.
Please close the meeting.
तो मैंने कहा
Thanks
कि
to
सर मैं कभी कॉल
Prime,
करूँ आपको, तो बोला आप नेक्स्ट वीक
Prime, including
ट्यूसडे
all the
वेडनेसडे मेरे
employees.
से बात करते, so he was not at all negative, like जो अपने पहले वाले जो थे उनकी तरह, हाँ, not at all negative, बोला कोई इनको रास्ता निकाल, ठीक है, हमारा वो मैंडेट तो भेजो मालिक, अच्छा, ठीक, 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 क्यों, नहीं मैंने तो नहीं नहीं, मैंने तो ऑफर लेटर में कहीं लिखा ही नहीं है, आप ऑफर, अरे आपका नाम है, बट मैंने ये थोड़ी लिखा है कि हम एआरसी को बिकवा रहे हैं, तो एक बार पढ़ो उसको, वो ठीक है, बट मैंने वो ऑफर लेटर उस हिसाब से ही बनाया है, ठीक ठीक, ओ ठीक,